Quick reminder, in this tutorial, we'll be using a hot glue gun, so please handle with care. Enjoy this free tutorial and follow along step by step. Right, let's make a collar for the flight jacket. Looks like a, I don't know, like a dragonfly flower. It looks almost like Rick and Morty here. Anyway, find this piece that might say collar, might say FJ collar for flight jacket collar, I don't know, but it looks like this. So grab yourself a piece of grocery bag paper stock. It's going to be 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Fold it in half like always, of course. We're going to be doing a Foldtrace, Foldcut. Get your piece and, like always, you should know what centerfold means by now, but if not, place this flat piece on the centerfold part. Just Dick Tracy this out, like always. Check it out. We're going to just follow all the lines, even all the one cuts, just like this. And again, like always, you'll want to transfer this onto food box cardstock or some kind of cardboard. So you should have a piece that now looks like this funky monkey looking piece. Cut this out, bring back our scissors back onto the scene. Do the one cuts because those are important. Cutting this out, that's of course a one cut right there. As you know, all the 1C's mean one cut and all the M's mean little tiny markers. And that's no cut for marker. No cut for marker means I cut it out on the actual trace template, but I don't cut it out on the actual product itself. That's what that means, no cut for marker. These are no cut for markers, so they're just guiding me to do all my folds here. But this is a one cut marker, so I'm going to cut this one here. And we have all this happening here. So we're going to want to pay attention to all these marching ants because that's going to help us understand this fold. So that's going to be, we're going to have a little triangle right here. So we're going to fold it right here, and then we're going to fold it right across the way here, putting a little bit of an invisible triangle. We see that? A little pizza slice fold right there. And then of course that's going to be all the way across the way here. A little bit of a fold there. Okay, we're just adding folds where they need to go. Okay, let's talk about this is a fold, this pizza pie fold right here. So we can actually go right down and meet this little pizza slice fold is what I call it. So we've got two little pizza slice folds right here. And then we're going to have a little bit of a curved fold right here. Just get your finger in there. And mind you, we're doing this 2 for the price 1, right? We're translating all the folds onto this side. Okay, so let's close this back up. This is a fold from here to bend fold, putting our fingernail in there and actually giving it a little bit of fold, and we're following this fold all the way down this line here. That's a no cut for marker, so that means that that's a fold. See how we did that? And this is also a fold like this. So we have 2 little flat pizza slice folds that's happening right there. This is actually a fold under like this. And we're going to go ahead and put a bend fold right there. And this is also following this bend fold right here. We're putting a little bit, as you can see, like bending it up. And putting my fingers in there to help with the bend folds. Because we're trying to put curve around these 2 spots right here. That's where the collar is going to be. This is all going to make sense, I promise. And let's see, do we have any more folds? We should have a bunch of folds happening right here. A bunch of pizza pie folds, and we can open this up. And everything needs to go reverse style. Everything needs to go negative to positive, okay? So we're following the same folds on this side, except we're making it go the same way as this side. Okay, we just need to make all the folds go the same way, both sides, okay? So once we have all the folds going all the same way, we can keep this handy close by. We're going to actually go ahead and color this thing. Just to give you a better visual representation, where I did a lot of the folds and I marked it up. Now I'm showing you all the little marching ants marks on this version, on this tutorial, so you can see it a lot better. But of course you don't have to make all these markings because you obviously want to keep all of these disguised when you paint it. Again, I'm showing all the markings on the folds here so you can see it better. You're just going to want to make this kind of like, it looks like a collar with all these markings and all these folds. We're going to go ahead and commence with the tutorial. I just want to show you that it should be looking like this. It almost looks like a lobster. All these marching ants are folds that we're going to be following. This is where the neck and head's going to be. This is where this collar is going to wrap around the back neck, and then it looks like this. So let's commence with the tutorial. Bring our handy parchment paper coloring mat on the scene and navy blue Sharpie thing. Okay, let's actually take this off because my fingers are already blue. I don't want them even bluer. Go ahead and just color this thing. I might fast forward this. You don't have to miss anything on this one. We're just coloring this whole entire thing navy blue. Alright, there it is, folks. Booyah Tribe. It's all colored up. It's probably drying by now. Talk about this side right here. Before we do anything and glue things together and get it ready, we need to add some rag cloth. Both of these sides right here, these little horns right here. Bring our rag cloth back on the scene. If you don't have any rag cloth, go grab yourself some. It just has to be thin. I'm going to grab my scissors. Go ahead and chop off small pieces of cloth. About a couple inches always, and about an inch wide. It just has to be that size right there. And there we go. Let's bring this design on so you understand. Right here. Right here. Okay? We are actually going to be covering pretty much all down here and all up here. That's how much space we want to cover. Because we want to get this whole entire area down here and all up in here. Add some glue right here, and I'm just going to get this started just so that I can ensure that I get all this rag cloth down here. Go ahead and tack that on down here. Right? While it's drying, because it'll dry pretty fast, just make sure that we fold these and don't lose these little tiny folds. Okay, that's important. Okay, and then now that we have it started, we can just add glue all the way up on here, all the way up. That's pretty important. And let's go ahead and thump this down and stick that down. Alright, don't forget we can bring our parchment paper back onto the scene. I'm so used to this, I'm just going to do it without it. Some nice rag cloth right there. Go ahead and cut the Access Hollywood. Okay, anyway. We got that one going on. Go ahead and put a rag cloth on this side too as well. Hot glue paper mache down here. Go ahead and stretch this out. Booyah. Booyah Tribe. Stretch those legs out, everybody. Don't forget the folds, everybody. When we get older, we get a lot of folds on our skin. We don't want to forget that. Okay, stop with the jokes, Mike. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go ahead and, yeah, just all the way up here. Up here. Up here. And just be quick about it. Let's go ahead and stretch this. And then just pow. Pow that on there. And fold and mold, punch and pull, and just kind of just get that cloth all stuck on there. Go ahead and cut this excess off right here. Okay. So let's keep going, everybody. Let's keep going. Alrighty, let's start gluing this thing together and making it look like a collar. First of all, let's tackle this pizza slice fold. Basically, it's this piece right here. Here, we're going to go ahead and put some glue right in that middle, and it doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to glue these two pieces together. I barely touched my trigger on that, and I'm going to go ahead and just glue that together. That's all we did. We have this little flap down here. We're off to a good start. Let's go ahead and talk about these side pieces. This is right here, which is basically these little tabs. These are going to all connect to itself on each side. So let's go ahead and start with this one right here. Basically, it's this one right here. If we turn it around, that's what it's going to be. I'm working on the reverse side here. Go ahead and do a little bit of glue right here. Wisp it on. Tiny little thumbtack. We're going to go ahead and follow this curve, the opposite curve around, and we're going to glue this right onto this tab just like this. Can we see that? By the way, I'm doing this on a non-colored piece because I was off camera on the other shot. So this is going to give you better visual representation now that it's not colored, okay? Let's go ahead and continue with this middle tab right here, okay? Let's go ahead and add a tiny pinch of glue, like not so much. Go ahead and just bring this tab up out of the way, and we're going to follow this curve around. See what we're doing? This underside collar is going to meet to this top side collar curve. Why not just continue? Let's do this last tab right here. Tiny pin drop of glue. Seriously, tiny pin drop of glue. Wisp around, saturate the whole entire tab. Continue to follow this around, right? And it's going to go ahead and seat right on the bottom just like this. We're using our finger underneath to press against, and booyah, there we go. We got something that looks like that. Let's go ahead and do the other side, starting with this tab. And take this tab right here, put some glue on here, a thumbtack of glue. Not a lot is needed, but enough to keep it nice and connected. You want to put just the right amount on there. Follow this around. I'm pushing down without any parchment paper because I'm used to the heat. With that little amount of glue, it's not going to be such a big deal. Let's go ahead and do this one here. Tiny smidgen of glue, just not a lot. Bring this back, fold this down, and just follow the curve. Follow the curve of the back side of this collar. Now, last but not least, let's go ahead and peel this back. Put some glue onto this last tab right here. And then just go ahead and follow this curve. Follow it all the way around on the folds that we made. And basically, again, see these little marching ants? These are all the folds I'm talking about. They're bend folds, right? Bend folds. So now we did both sides. We can go ahead and pinch and fold and mold on all the sides here, making sure that everything looks good. And we should have a nice collar formulating. Can we see the back side, the front side? Okay, and this is going to be the under tabs here. So I just wanted to show you these three tabs here on an uncolored version so that you can get a better representation of all the bend folds, all the tabs, and what we're actually following in terms of the collar. So it should look like this. We'll flip it on over. This is going to be the lower back part. This is the back of the neck right here. This is the collar as it's popped up. Front ways, this is where the head and neck's going to be, right down in this area. And this is going to be the back collar, and it's going to flap all the way around to the front side of the collarbone right here. So we've got something that looks like that. That's looking pretty cool, right? Let's talk about these little vampire teeth right here, these little fangs that are sticking out. Remember this little tiny little mark right here? If you can see that little tiny mark, we put a little bit of a fold to know where that mark is since we colored it up, right? On both sides. Can we see this little tiny fold? Well, that fold is going to help us know where we need to glue it on under here, right? Because it's going to just stop right about there at the bottom part of the fold. When I say bottom part, I mean this bottom part right here, this part right where the pointer is pointing at. Real simple, right? Of course it is. So let's go ahead and put a little bit tiny, barely punching on that trigger. We're going to slip that underneath the collar, and boom. We added a little bit of a curve right here. Let's do a little bit more of the Fantastic Four on this side. Sorry about my jokes. Just go with it. Go ahead and slip it underneath the collar like this. And boom. Booyah tribe. I'm pushing on it with no parchment paper because there's just barely enough glue to even burn me. It's not even burning me. So it's going to naturally curve up because we made some folds down here. So that's looking pretty fantastic. What we want to go ahead and concentrate on doing is bringing our, you guessed it, our newspaper coupon junk mail, because we're going to stuff a couple pieces up in there, adding some more padding. Let's go ahead and crumple these cuties into a small little crumple. Let's go ahead and take $5.99 and crumple that up. And we're going to stuff that in there. Just a couple pieces, right? Pieces of junk mail to kind of thicken that up. What a nice way to use freebies from the USPS. I'm going to put a strip of glue and fold slap it this way. Fold slap. Go ahead and fold slap this way. Fold slap. Let's do one more fold slap, everybody. It's one more fold. And there we go. Put a strip of glue on this side. We're going to go ahead and just shove it on in there, pushing that to the back, right? Can we see that? And while we're pushing that to the back, we're going to go ahead and let that close in on itself. We're pushing that down And see how it's spongy but still a little bit rigid. Feeling pretty good. And see these vampire teeth down here? Before that, we need to go ahead and color this side, okay? Because that's kind of creeping out, peeking out. Just in case we see the back of Kenyoshi's neck, we don't want that to be looking all kind of ratty, patty, mo-batty. Yeah, so sorry about my jokes. I've had like 8 cups of coffee, so yeah. And okay, so we're good there. So let's go ahead and lock these vampire teeth down with glue. We're going to go ahead and lift these vampire teeth up and put some glue here. Tiny thumbtacks of glue, just barely pushing on that trigger. We're going to go ahead and just put these tiny vampire teeth down right onto this back piece, using my thumb to really commit to this cause. And now we've got a collar, everybody, and I'm gonna make a slight adjustment and just cut this tiny edge off here of this collar right here on this side here, because that's just creeping out. We've got a collar. We can go ahead and attach this thing. It should look like this from the back side. And one thing we want to go ahead and do, put a trigger pump of glue right in here, right there, okay? Right into these 2 little collar socket holes. Why do we do that? Because we want to stop this newspaper coupon junk mail from coming out the sides. We're just giving that extra support. We're letting the glue seep in there, letting gravity push it down, and I'm folding and molding each side. Even on the sides here, I'm kind of rocking it back and forth with my fingers and thumbs. Also, I'm pushing into the sides right here, just like this, with my fingers, just to make sure that we flatten this edge out right here. It can actually bend down towards the curvature of the neck, going down towards the chest. It's going to make it a lot easier to apply this once we do that. See what I'm doing with my fingers like this on both sides. Don't forget to hot glue paper mache this bottom part back tab right here. Whether you want to use newspaper coupon junk mail right here, or you can just use hot glue, but we do need to strengthen up this part right here. And call it good until we want to apply this to the neckline, the flight jacket. Okay, let's keep going.